Hi, I'm Dan, and today I'm going to make a sausage and aubergine curry. So first thing I want to do is slice up an onion and start frying it. Put a bit of oil in your pan and throw in the onion. And whilst the onion's frying, we're going to make the paste for the curry. To make the paste, I'm using this little blender here, but you could also use a pestle and mortar or maybe a hand zhuzher. Into the blender I'm putting 5 cloves of garlic, about this much ginger, 2 de-seeded chilies. You can put more or less depending upon how hot you want it, but these ones are pretty potent, so I'm just going to use 2. About a teaspoon or so of ground cumin, about the same of coriander, and maybe half as much cinnamon. So we're going to put a little bit of turmeric in. Now all the time keep watching the onions to make sure that they don't burn. And so that your mixture blends into a paste, you need to put a little bit of oil in. And now I'm going to whiz it up. Once you've made your paste, add it to the onions. And stir that all up together. Keep the heat fairly low, make sure it doesn't burn. So now that that's all in there, it's time to put in the aubergine. Cut the aubergines into fairly small chunks and add them to the onion and spice paste. And now fry that all together for maybe 10 minutes or so that the aubergines are cooked. And you might need to add a little bit more oil. And mix it all around so that the aubergines are nicely covered in the paste. And it should look something like that. Now that the aubergines have been in there for 5 to 10 minutes and they're starting to go soft, it's time to add the sausages. I think that using nice sausages is really worth it here because you can taste it. And so I'm using caramelised onion sausages for this one because the sweetness in those caramelised onions is really good. I'm using 6 sausages and I'm going to cut them into sort of 1-inch segments. And once you've cut them up, put the sausages in. And stir the sausages a little bit so that they brown on every side, but don't stir them too much or they'll fall apart. Once the sausages are cooked a little bit, they are much less likely to fall apart. Once the sausages are starting to cook, add some tomato puree, a good squeeze or 2, and stir that in. And once the sausages are starting to brown, add a tin of tomatoes and just pour them in. And now let that simmer and reduce and let the sausages cook the whole way through, and the aubergines will soften even more. Now after you've been reducing that for about 10 minutes or so, it'll look something like this. And it's time to add some coconut. Now you don't have to add coconut if you don't like it, but I think it adds a nice creaminess to the dish. I'm using pressed coconut block, which looks a bit like this. And I'm just going to stir that in, but you can use coconut milk or coconut cream. Put that in there. Don't put in too much, just put in enough so that it makes the colour slightly lighter, and if you taste it, you can taste it. Add more if you want to taste milder. So once the coconut's properly stirred in, it's virtually ready. Just sort of simmer it down to a thickness you like, or if you want it a bit thinner, you can add some more water. Also, try the aubergine to make sure it's cooked. The most important thing is that it's not hard and chewy. And once you've reduced it to how you like it, and everything is cooked through, it's ready to serve. And here it is. I'm serving it with rice, mango chutney and Greek yogurt. And click on the mango chutney for the recipe. And now for the tasting.
I'm making myself a morsel that incorporates all of the different parts, hopefully. Okay, let's go for it. Wow, that's pretty good. Bon. Super bon. Yeah, I like that. It's very spicy though.
Bye bye.
Bye.